Tammy.
Hey.
So, Marty Marr, thanks for all the information. Next, in your opinion, what's the best progesterone testing machine to buy and why? I love these questions.
Well, Whelping, of course, no doubt, and you buy it at www.mybreedersupply.com. You can order it all right there.
So why do I like that machine? Well, I went on a quest to find a progesterone machine for us to use about 3 years ago, and I tried some machines out, and when I got the whelping machine, I liked it because number one, it was easy to use, and number two, there were repeatable results, and the price was affordable. It's certainly not the least expensive machine out there. There are some machines like the P4 from Target Vet. I was actually part of the testing process for it. Didn't like that one at all, didn't get good results. But I've been using the whelping, we've been using the whelping literally every day, do tests every day with it for the last 3 years. And I'm using my original machine and it works great. So easy to use, results in 15 minutes. The tests are, the machine is $27.95. So by the time you bought the machine and the centrifugal box test kits, you're in it for $3,000. So it's not inexpensive, but you know, if you
it's worth every penny.
You get one extra puppy in a litter because you timed it right.
You get your timing on your females to get bred. Number one.
That's right.
Number two, you get the timing of when your babies are about to be born.
And you can lose a whole litter if you get that one.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So made our life.
There's a lot of puppies out there, mama dogs that are pregnant and have those babies, and people take them too soon because they didn't have a progesterone machine to test.
And if you look in the town that we live in fact, if you live in western Oklahoma, the only machine that's out there is our machine. There are 5-6 vets that we use. None of them have progesterone machines. So it doesn't mean that no vets have progesterone machines, because obviously they do.
Yeah.
But they're expensive. I mean, the IDEX machines they use are $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 machines. And so you're probably not going to buy one of those for your house.
You can do it in your home, and it's, what, 20 minutes?
15 minutes. Collect blood,
minutes.
spin it down, 15 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and the tests, by the way, are $90 for 10 tests. So it's $9 a test what you're paying. So I love it. Christian Darren, hey James, tell me I got a health panel done on my boy, came back with 2 copies of CDDY and 1 copy of DM. Is that bad? Well, first off, it's a Frenchie.
DMs no longer exist with the Frenchies.
Yeah, you can test for it and it's there, but it doesn't afflict them. So a dog that has 1 or 2 copies of DM will never exhibit those problems. Yeah. So actually Embark now has removed DM from the French Bulldog test for that reason. The CDDY is to do with this. It's a kind of a shorter, smaller dog, and I suspect that something like 1/3 of all Frenchies have a single copy of CDDY. 2 copies means that dog could be afflicted by it, and so you worry about spine issues. I think it's probably a non-issue. The trouble is there's no real evidence on this to know exactly what's really going on. I do know this: CDDY has been present in French Bulldogs for an awful long time. And so that means that I personally have probably bred some dogs unknowingly that got 2 copies of CDDY over the last 20 years. Never had anybody come back and say, hey, we've got a problem. It's not to say that Frenchies don't have problems with spines. They do, because they've got short backs and they jump off furniture and things like that. So I don't know, you take your own judgment on this is what you should do.
If you see a Frenchie that's really, really squatty, you can bet your pretty penny there's something going on.
Right.
Real extra squatty. Yeah, something twisted with the spine or whatever.
Lorena Hernandez, I got a bully pup baby, 6 days old, having problems breathing. It looks like has something stuck in the throat. What can I do? Well, if there's something stuck in the throat, get it out. Go to a vet. So if you really think there's something in the throat, don't hang around. Either you got to get it out.
When was that put on there? Yesterday?
9 hours ago.
She needs to go to her vet.
9 hours ago. So, more likely that this dog's having problems breathing because there's something going on with his lungs. And in those situations, the treatment for that would be, if it's pneumonia, antibiotics. If it's having trouble breathing, tube feed it, goat's milk. If it's having problems breathing, it needs oxygen, an oxygen concentrator, and then probably an incubator.
Well, number one, this is your baby. If your baby, human baby, these are our 4-legged babies. If they're having trouble breathing, I wouldn't stop and text and ask a question. I'd go to the vet immediately.
Yeah, well, especially, you get these dogs get into the situation when they're doing it.
Yeah, go to the vet.
They're in
It's
trouble.
Emergency.
They're in trouble. They need oxygen. Otherwise they probably don't survive.
Maybe you don't want to spend the money, but that's your baby.
The King, can a dog get pregnant without being in heat? So there's an interesting question. Tammy, you want to have a shot at that one?
Do what?
Can a dog get pregnant without being in heat? She's laughing like she knows the answer. Let's see what she says.
No, unless she's got an invisible heat.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly it. So a dog has to have a progesterone. It has to be in heat to get pregnant.
Yes.
The problem is it could be having a silent heat. And so you don't see any outward signs of what's going on. And the only way that you can tell that dog is in heat is maybe do what's called a vaginal cytology, where you put a swab up the vagina, roll it out on a slide, stain it, look at it, and look for what are called cornified cells, or do a progesterone test. So the answer is it can get in heat. And I mean, if you've got a dog that wants to act like it wants to be bred, it's probably in heat.
Or she just may be a little slutty dog.
Yes.
Pardon the French, but...
Tammy. That's why I banned Tammy from these videos.
Yeah, whatever.
What age to breed a male dog? Want to have a go at that one, Tammy?
What age?
Yeah, what age?
To breed a male dog?
Yes.
Well, AKC will accept it if he's producing good stuff at 7 months.
That's right.
You got to check it under the microscope, look at it, make sure it's got plenty there. And if he's 7 months old, AKC will accept it. But it's normally anywhere from 7 to 10 months.
Yes, I've never seen a 7-month-old dog that could do anything worthwhile. They might start spitting out a little bit of semen.
I see a lot of bragging on Facebook sometimes about their male dog was ready at 7 months.
Yeah, right.
You know, so you know, it can happen. It sure can.
What you see in a dog is when it first starts to show interest in other males, other females, you can collect from the dog. Yeah, whatever, Tammy, don't go there. Don't even go there. I get the LBGTQ, whatever faction after my butt.
Yeah.
Where was I?
About the male dog breeding female.
Yeah. So typically around 7 or 8 months old, you can get the dog to get erect and spit a little bit of semen out. And you can look under a microscope and they have a lot of swimmers in it, but the volume is just literally a drop. So just keep on going every week, try to collect from that dog, especially if you've got a female in heat. And you will see that his volume starts to go up. Once you've got to about 1.5 cc's, which is typically 9 or 10 months along, then you're to the point where you can probably start doing something useful with that dog.
Look at this.
It's cool.
Wheels on each side of it.
Putting out a pickup for me. It's a Chevy. It's a 56 Chevy with a 3-window. Give him a wave.
We like old cars. My dad was a car dealer. We had a car lot when I was growing up, and boy howdy, I like those old cars.
Hey James, if one dog carried pied and the other mother doesn't, will pied be passed to the offspring? So there's a reply here. Let's see what it says. Marty Mars says a quarter might be pied, but let's see what James says. Well, you got it half right. Half would be pied carriers on average. So we didn't tell us about the other. I'm assuming the other dog doesn't have a copy of pied at all. The dog let's just get back to this. The dog that carries pied has one copy, will pass that on half the time, consequently half the litter gets a copy of pied from that dog, and so half the litter are pied carriers. If the other dog was a pied carrier, then 2 pied carriers would end up with 1/4 of the litter being pieds, 1/2 of the litter being pied carriers, and the other quarter litter having nothing to do with pied at all. Justin Morris, I currently breed Frenchies, but I'm looking to expand and breed English Bulldogs as well. So my question is DNA close to Frenchies, like is Platinum English Bulldog possible? Yeah, exactly. No, it's best I know, it's exactly the same. In fact, I have people who breed my Frenchies to their bullies to produce smaller dogs. So absolutely. And let's see, what do we got now? That's 9 minutes and we're caught up pretty much, so we'll call that a day. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet. I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.